Good morning, guys. This is Alan again, right? And today we'll be talking about breakers. Okay. So a breaker is an opposing candle that allows expansion in price to take out highs and lows or highs or lows. Okay. So an opposing candle, basically like if it's a down candle here, we want to see these highs take out highs, these this expansion take out highs and lows or takes out highs, right? And then vice versa. Right. So the first thing I want to show you is this breaker, which I was hinting at early this week about on my videos, just because I kind of want to keep it as a lesson, right, for you guys. So a breaker is a setup that ICT personally uses. It's a very, very simple setup. It does not happen every single day, but it will happen every week. Okay. So also want to note when you're trading these setups, it's always time and price. So you definitely need to correlate time while you're taking these setups. Okay, it has to be in kill zone or else these setups will not work. Okay, and trust me on that. Okay, just because it's like 4 p.m. your time, you're like, hey, I see a breaker block getting traded to on a lower time frame. Can I take this trade? Yes, but you're probably not going to be on the right side of the market because that could just be manipulation to try to get you in the trade, right? So very simple breaker block here. This breaker here, there's highs right here. You guys see that? Equal highs resting here. You know what ICT likes to say? Candyland, right? Highs right here. Breaker block here, or breaker runs it, takes out these highs. Now all we do is wait. We wait for it to go below this and trade back into it. So we wait here, trades below it, does not really go back into it. There's a gap. So when price comes up and fills this gap, we can take this trade. Happens right here. Okay, price comes back, runs it, fills the gap, goes in this breaker. Take your sell right here, right? Stop loss on top of that breaker. And you're targeting just this fair value gap to fill, right? Very, very simple. This would just be a quick trade 24 to 16, 0.66, so like 1 to 0.66 if you want to take this trade, right? So just be a small gain, a small low gain, but that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly fine with that, right? And as you can see, I did send this trade out, but I was more conservative on my stop. I just kind of put it to the mean. Like I did not want to see it go through this, but very, very simple. Price comes to it, drops lower, right? Same thing here. Price came up into it, drop lower again. This was my other trade that I sent out for you, for the students as well, right? New day opens, price runs higher again. This was the Judas for me. Took a trade, drops lower, takes out these lows here, call it a day, right? Very, very simple trade setup, right? And I want you to notice when it took out these lows, this order block here is now become a breaker. Okay, because what does a breaker do? Opposing candle that runs through highs slash lows. This is the opposite. Comes down, takes out lows. Okay, as soon as it takes out lows, we see it coming back up, uses as an order block, plus price lower. However, it finally breaks through it. Okay, this is still noted. I want you to know where this is at. And what is the goal? We want to see it trade back into it, right? We take it the opposite direction. Cool. And I think you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at. Bang. Price goes back into it, right? As soon as price goes back into it, you take a long. Let's take a long right there. Stop loss below that order or breaker, and you're going to target this gap right here. Okay, target these gaps that are filled in the market. If there's no gaps to be filled, you can just target a low, right, if you want to, but this would be the target for it. And right, look, if you see that, oh look, it's a breaker. Yes, you can also pull your fib out and be like, hey, wow, it's nearing OTE too, right? Crazy. It's just correlation, right? And I was responding to a comment earlier about the fib. Everyone ICT says takes on a 62. Like, yeah, take on a 62. This would be the 62 here, right? All right, let me show you guys my fib settings as well, because I did iterate press for that. Turn to 62. As you can see, it goes to 62. The 62 is perfectly in line with this breaker here. But if you're just using the fib and not understanding what's there, you'd be like, oh yeah, just spawning off these fib levels. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really use the fib. I don't really use the fib to trade. I show you guys the fib because these order blocks and these gaps are what moves the market, not because of the fib, not because of the fib that, oh, we're at a 62 level, we're gonna move the market. No, it's because of what's on the left side of the market. Okay, so going back to it, Price comes back here into, you can obviously say, hey, it's OTE slash 62, right? But mainly it's because there's a breaker right there that triggers this triggers this buy, right? Price moves lower, absorbs liquidity, comes into this breaker, and then runs high the opposite direction. Take out this or this high here, right? Very, very simple trade setup. This could have just wrapped your week up right here, right? You didn't have to trade anymore after this. Perfect trade setup, let it run, right? And now you start identifying like, hey, there's equal highs here now, right? You see this, right? There's equal highs resting here now, right? Price might continue running higher, right? Take this highs out, or continue just dropping lower and just, take out this own low right here, right? And like I said, we're going to wait to see what happens, right? Because look, if there's a down counter here and this price runs through it, could be a new breaker, right? Or vice versa, right? This down candle here runs through this low, maybe fills it out, comes back up through it, comes into this one, and continue running higher, right? So, or it comes to this one, basically, continue running higher, right? So the breaker is a simple concept setup that you can see every week. Okay, it'll happen every week, maybe like once a week. So these are the trades that a lot of people take. I personally started trading ICT with the breaker setup. My concept has changed by now. My trading has changed. I favor more like the quick 5 pip stop loss, 10 pip stop loss for maybe 15, 20 pip gains, a quick 1 to 2 in about an hour or so, right? There's nothing wrong with this trade though. If you look at it, right? Your stop loss still like 11, maybe 12, right? Let's round up 12, and your gain is 36. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that trade. Like if you look at this, it's a pretty gnarly trade. That's a pretty solid trade right there, right? Fills the gap here perfectly, drops lower. Like you want to target this gap to be a little more greedy, you could, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? So that's what I mean. There's times where you take these trades here and then watch it happen, right? And I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's also another trade here, this order block here, push this price higher, takes out its own high here, right? As soon as price goes below it, you can see it comes up into it, break down, target this low, right? Very, very simple trades that you start seeing in the market that you can start taking, right? So I want you guys to start practicing finding these breaker setups, right? And like I said, the rule has to apply. It has to be after new day open. So set your new day open. It has to be after it. Okay. New day open has to be in kill zone, basically, London or New York. And once you start seeing these moves repeat itself over and over, then you'll start being, hey, I can apply this to the real market. There's a lot of people saying like, hey, this is all hindsight, but that's what you're gonna have to start doing. Like you have to look at it from hindsight and then become a solid trader, right? You can't just take this and like, oh, I'm gonna go live with it without practicing. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, right? So like I said, very, very simple, right? Make sure you're practicing this and looking in the charts for this, right? And if you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to help you out. But like I said, this is one of ICT's concepts that one of his trading styles or trading setups that he used to use. I'm pretty sure he doesn't do this anymore because like he said, he's now more of like a scalper / day trader. He loves to get in and out of the market. And that's kind of what I'm doing as well now. But this is a very, very good setup to have in your arsenal that, hey, like if you can't really see anything for the week, but you have this like this setup that you can see. Like if I was talking this week, I'm like, hey, look, there's a setup right here. It's breaker, just wait for the breaker to come in, take the sell, right? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Take this trade. That's what I did. Took this one as well. Super. I did not take this buy because I was already done for the week. But like I said, very, very crazy setups. I took a sell up here, right? Videos broke down on that already, but I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson on just breakers. Very, very simple, I know, but I just kind of want to get you guys through the door and have just kind of a basic understanding of what a breaker setup is. All right. It's Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. Happy Merry Christmas to everyone that's watching this. And this video should be up on the same day. Yeah, have a happy holidays, and I hope you guys have a great year. Peace.